Moving on, Japan is bracing for a key political moment this weekend as the ruling Liberal Democratic Party is set to choose its next leader and likely the country's next prime minister after Shigeru Ishiba's resignation last month. But before that, anti-immigrant protests are intensifying around Tokyo. Most recently, crowds gathered outside a major train station near the Japanese capital to cheer Sohei Kamiya, leader of the far-right Sanseito party, which recently won several seats in the upper house election. Kamiya rallies against immigration, suggesting the foreign workers undermine Japan's economy and social fabric. But not far away, rival protesters marched with placards accusing the party of pushing divisive and dangerous rhetoric that threatens Japan's social cohesion. Despite holding only a handful of seats, Sanseito's Japan First message is setting the tone of an immigration debate. Listen in.
Sanseito gains its popularity because we say the obvious in an obvious way. Let's do the politics that people are asking for. That is what I call Japanese first. The total opposite to Japanese first is globalism first. Caring too much for what has been decided somewhere out there and how foreign companies will benefit has brought the decline in economics and population in Japan, which lead to the foreign workers' crisis.
The Sanseito party leader insists Japan's citizens should not come second to foreign workers. His rhetoric resonates with supporters frustrated by rising prices and stagnant wages.
Foreigners who have come to Japan recently have no respect for the country, but came as cheap labor. I don't believe they bring any good to Japan, and that's why I agree to most of the things Kamiya says. I support him and the party.
Critics warn that the far-right leader is amplifying stereotypes of foreigners as cheap labor, unwilling to learn Japanese or even prone to crime.
There is an image of foreigners in Japan which is getting fixated cheap labor, no interest in learning the language, and their children drop out from school. Once they create their own community, it leads to a rise in crime rates. Via internet and Sanseito, that message get amplified, leaving no one with positive images of foreigners.
The protests and the counter-protests have pushed immigration to the forefront of Japan's politics. Even the ruling Liberal Democrat Party, long seen as pro-business and pro-tourism, is now echoing calls for tougher rules on foreign workers. However, Japan faces a hard reality: a rapidly aging population and a shrinking workforce. Experts warn Japan may need up to 7 million foreign workers by 2040, 3 times the current number, just to keep its economy afloat. Now, on October the 4th, the ruling LDP will vote for a new leader to replace outgoing Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba, who stepped down after repeated electoral setbacks. But all contenders of the top seats race face the same challenge: how to respond to Japan's growing anti-immigrant sentiment while keeping the economy running. Among the 5 contenders, 3 have emerged as frontrunners. Their positions on foreign workers could shape Japan's path going forward. First in the list is Shinjiro Koizumi, nicknamed the Prince. He is the 44-year-old son of a former prime minister, photogenic and reform-minded, seen as inexperienced but popular with the public. The second front-runner is Sanae Takaichi. She is called the nationalist. The 64-year-old hardline conservative is aligned with Shinzo Abe's legacy. Known for tough stances on China, defense and foreign property purchases, she could become Japan's first female prime minister. And then there is Yoshimasa Hayashi, popular as the Beetle Maniac. The Harvard-educated moderate brings decades of ministerial experience and is seen as a steady, reliable force. The former foreign minister is also a devoted fan of the Beatles and is often seen weaving references to the legendary band into his politics and even diplomacy. Now, whoever wins on Saturday will inherit a nation at a crossroads. A Japan caught between economic necessity and nationalist pressure over foreign population.
Firstpost now available in 9 languages on YouTube. English,
Stands at $36 trillion.
French,
Le FMI, comme
German,
Geschäftsführenden Direktor,
Hindi,
$30 trillion kakaljo.
Indonesian,
Pemerintah tanpa pemeriksaan.
Italian,
Sekali radikali.
Japanese,
4 兆ドル以上も。
Portuguese,
Por causa do próprio balanço patrimonial.
Spanish.
Beautiful bill.
Go to Settings, click on Audio Track and select a language of your choice. Be the first to know what's happening around you in your first language. Firstpost.